Hey there guys, I'm back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about this past week's Nintendo Direct that happened on the 13th of September and give you guys my thoughts on it and the problems with it that I had for this Direct and how I believe Nintendo Direct should be formatted within the future. Now obviously there are so many Nintendo fans and Nintendo theorists that think that, you know, on how Nintendo should be run, and people have many ideologies and stuff like that. So this is my own opinion, this is my own thoughts. If you have your own thoughts and would like to share them with the world, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I will be sure to read them. But yeah, so what did I have problems with this Direct? So this Direct, before it even happened, it was blatantly stated that it was going to be 45 minutes long and that it was going to have a focus on 3DS and Switch games that were coming out within the next couple of months. So instantly I knew that they weren't going to announce anything big or surprising, which a lot of people were hoping for Animal Crossing Switch or Smash Brothers or something like that. You know, every single time a Direct is announced, anytime a Direct, I should say, is announced that is not attached to a game or a big presentation like E3 or something like that, people just get their expectations way too high. You know, everyone just gets super duper excited for these Nintendo Directs. You know, they expect the world from Nintendo for them to just announce everything during this 45-minute presentation. But the reality is that this Direct was used as a big advertisement slash reminder to people that, yeah, these games are coming out within the next couple of months. And it definitely worked, because I completely forgot that the Mario and Luigi Superstars remake is coming out on the 3DS later this year, along with some other titles that I forgot already. So and even like the announcements that they made during this Direct, I had a problem with, because a lot of the announcements were like small things. Like, they weren't like big announcements. I mean, the most surprising announcement during this Direct was definitely the Doom and Wolfenstein 2 announcement, that game or those games were coming to the Switch. And I don't think anyone really expected that to happen. I bet that there's a couple of people that are like, I told you so. I definitely thought that was going to happen. But yeah, Doom and Wolfenstein are now on the Switch, coming soon later this year. But other than that, all of the other announcements that they did, they gave Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a release date, December 1st. Splatoon 2 is getting a small update with 2 new maps and a Splatbrella gun. ARMS is getting a brand new character. I believe it's like the Clown Lady. Kirby Star Allies, that is the Switch game. It finally has a official title, and it is slated for a spring 2018 release date. We already knew that this game was coming out next year, but now we have a better release window of it. And even like the 3DS titles that they announced, Kirby Battle Royale, the new 3DS game that they promised that they were going to unveil later this year, Minecraft 3DS and Mario Party Top 100. Those games could have been easily done through tweets or a blog post or whatever format Nintendo wanted to do it in. A lot of these announcements were very small and very minute. They weren't exactly all that exciting and all that enticing for a lot of us Nintendo fans. Like, if they were going to announce all of these things, they could have just done it through Twitter or something like that, but they just decided to go and do it through a Direct. Directs, how I feel like that they should be treated. They should be treated as big announcements for all of the things all at once. Like, every single time something is announced during a Direct, it should be very exciting. It should be very enticing. And whenever a Direct is announced, people still treat them as like very exciting and very enticing. But, you know, when the Direct comes, it's not the same. You know, it's not exciting, it's not enticing, because of how Nintendo likes to do their Directs now. They don't like to treat these things as like big events anymore. They sort of are like, yeah, we could do a Direct, you know, just to like remind people that these games are coming out later this year and stuff like that. But I mean, like when they announced the SNES Classic, for example, they just did it through Twitter. Like, they didn't do it in a Direct format or anything like that. Like, imagine if they did it through a Nintendo Direct. The amount of people that would have been losing their mind in Twitch chat would have been fantastic. But we didn't get to see that. We got to see it through Twitter and, you know, through posts at different times and stuff like that, instead of seeing it all at once. And, you know, that would have just been fantastic. But instead they were like, I guess we don't have enough announcements right now to announce. I guess we could just say, yeah, the SNES Classic is coming out on Twitter. But even then, like, I think that they announced the SNES Classic too early, because it was pretty close to right after they just said they discontinued the NES Classic. So I feel like that was a little bit of poor timing by them, but hey, maybe they thought that it was perfect timing. Who knows? But now I want to go and talk about on how I believe Nintendo Direct should be formatted. So once again, this is all just my opinion and stuff like that. So Yeah, so first up, let's go and talk about 3DS stuff. So they are still doing 3DS stuff at the moment. And they're doing all of that stuff within the beginning of the Direct, which is completely fine. That is 100% A-okay by me, just because 3DS stuff is not all that exciting anymore. And the fact that they're doing the 3DS stuff first and then getting to the Switch games afterwards, I think is a, good idea. Because if they did the Switch games first and then the 3DS stuff after, the viewer number would definitely drop significantly after they say, now we're going to 3DS titles. Everyone would just be like, oh, I don't care about 3DS anymore. I'll just see it later, because now there's no more Switch Switch games to be announced. Nothing that's going to really surprise me or anything like that. I really don't care. That's how some people are. I'm not saying that's how I am, but I'm just saying that from the perspective of someone that's just like, I only care about Switch stuff, so I guess I gotta watch this 3DS stuff first. The time allowed for each game, I saw a really imbalancement of games being shown off during the Direct. So, like, for example, Mario Party Top 100. I didn't know much about this game other than that it was going to have 100 minigames from the previous Mario Party games, and that it was going to be all in this one 3DS title. And by the way, why is Mario Party Top 100 on the 3DS? I don't know. I feel like that would be the perfect game for the Switch. Maybe they already had it in development and they didn't want to switch development into the Switch or whatever. I feel like that they should have done that, because this game probably would have sold a lot of copies just because of the fact that it has mini games from the previous Mario Parties. But anyways, Mario Party Top 100. They didn't give this game that much time when they showed it off during the Direct. I feel like that they could have definitely showed it off more. They could have given us more details about it, like in terms of like what the game is. Is it just mini games? Is there a board or stuff like that? Because like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is just a mini game compilation of just 100 mini games. But supposedly there is a board system within it. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's what I heard. And then for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was shown off for like 8 minutes. Like this video right now is only less than that. It's like 7 minutes long. Imagine watching Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for 8 minutes when you don't want to, like myself. Like, I am not a huge Xenoblade Chronicles fan, and watching that presentation for 8 minutes was very boring, and them just going through the game and just giving us a tutorial, basically. It was pretty much the tutorial for the game of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and like I did not need to know all of this information when I'm not even interested in your game. The more you show this off, the more bored I am of it, to be honest. And even my friend Damien, who is the co-host of the Two Players podcast, he even was like, yeah, I am getting really bored of this game. And the other RPG that they showed off during this presentation was Project Octopath Traveler, I believe, and that video on the Nintendo official YouTube channel has more views than the Xenoblade Chronicles 8-minute presentation, which is not surprising at all, just because a lot more people are excited for Octopath Traveler than Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now. And Nintendo was like, well, to go and get more people excited for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I guess we got to show more of it off, which was not a good idea. And like featured games like Mario Odyssey for this Direct. This Direct was blatantly stated that, yeah, we're going to be showing off 3DS and Switch games that are going to be coming out later this year. But on top of that, more details on Mario Odyssey, which Mario Odyssey got like 7 minutes worth of runtime during the Direct, which is completely fine. Even if they spent like 10 minutes on the game, I wouldn't have minded, because they blatantly stated it that, yeah, we are going to talk about Mario Odyssey. And for them to give it a little bit less runtime than Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was a little shocking to me. But yeah, that's pretty much on how I believe Nintendo Direct should be formatted. 3DS stuff first. The time for each game should be within a reasonable time that we kind of know and get the premise of the game. And featured games like Mario Odyssey for this past Direct are allowed more runtime than the fixed time. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this past week's Nintendo Direct and how I believe Nintendo Direct should be done. They're probably not going to be done like that anymore, and that's why I have not been excited for a Nintendo Direct since the Smash Brothers Direct that they did with Sakurai and him announcing a bunch of new characters and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my video for this week. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have not already, you can subscribe. I put new videos up every single Saturday. Want to follow my social media, Facebook and Twitter, you can do that as well. And if you have any opinion on Nintendo Directs, be sure to leave that in the comment section below. And yeah, I think that is about it. Thank you guys for watching this video again. I will see you guys next time with more videos. Game on, gamers!